In a weekend that saw both Stockport and Wrexham get promoted, and also every single team in the playoffs lose, there's a lot to unpack, but let's get straight into it. So, starting off with the team that ensured Wrexham AFC's promotion, Mansfield Town. Now, they took a trip to fellow promotion rivals MK Dons. Now, their trip to Stadium MK started off a little bit shaky, going 1-0 down within 13 minutes when Max Dean opened the scoring with a very nice solo effort that took advantage of a really poor bit of Mansfield defending. They lost the ball in their own half. Max Dean took the ball away and whipped it into the far corner to put the Dons 1-0 up. Now, however, Mansfield found themselves level through Elliot Hewitt on the half-hour mark with a very nice cutback and finish from 3 yards out, and Mansfield had the momentum going into half-time. And they could have scored, but a speculative effort hit the crossbar just moments later. However, MK Dons came out from the break looking the better side, and Mansfield were fortunate to score when the ball dropped into the box, and after forcing a double save from the keeper, the ball was eventually stabbed home by Davis Keller-Dunn. Mansfield continued to have the momentum going into the break, but MK Dons came out and they were the better side for the second half. But eventually time was running out for them, and knowing that they had to win here to stay within a shot of being in the promotion race, they went all out for it, but this did end up costing them when Keller-Dunn popped up again. Now the substitute went breaking through on the 90-minute mark to put Mansfield 3-1 up and eventually seal the game. Or so he thought. Mansfield wanted to get one more just for security, and they did just that. 90+2, another counter-attack, another goal. This time it was a fantastic finish from James Gale on the 90+2 mark, where he hit one from outside the box and it found its way into the top left corner. But it's a fantastic day for Mansfield as they put themselves just one win away from promotion. As for MK Dons, it looks like they are going to have to settle for the playoffs. Next up we have Stockport County, who knew all they had to do was to avoid defeat against Morecambe today to ensure that promotion would go to them after heartbreak last time around at Wembley. And after 8 minutes, nerves were settled at Edgeley Park when Isaac Oloafe opened the scoring. Paddy Madden floated the ball into the back post. It was knocked down by Carl Wootton, and Oloafe was there just to poke it in, and 1-0, and Morecambe were in trouble here because they never really came at them. And despite Stockport's persistence in that half, they had to wait until added time in the first half to double their lead, and it was a decent goal, a perfect corner into the back post. Fraser Horsfall up from centre half, headed it into the top corner, and that was pretty much the game. Morecambe had one shot in the second half, and Stockport did continue to push on to try and get 3 or 4. They couldn't find the back of the net in the second half, but they won't care. They're one win away from the title, but today it is all about promotion. They won promotion at home in front of their own fans, and what a delightful day for them, and a huge respect to them, and enjoy it tonight, because for Stockport fans, this is going to feel like it's come a year too late for them, this promotion. They've been fantastic for the last 2 years. Their fans are brilliant. They're one of the biggest sides in the league, and they thoroughly deserve it. Now then, on to the other team that got promoted this afternoon, Wrexham. They absolutely smashed Forest Green Rovers. 6-0 was the thumping, and it was their best performance of the first half this season. They were unbelievable. Didn't allow Forest Green to have a single shot on target, and they put 4 past them. After 17 minutes, they opened the scoring through Elliot Lee after the ball pinballed around the box, but he managed to poke it home to ensure that Wrexham went 1 up. Just 6 minutes later, this lead was doubled when James McLean picked out Paul Mallin, their talisman, and at the second top goal scorer in the lead at the back post, and they went 2-0 up. And if it didn't look like job done then, it did, after Wrexham went 3-0 up after a very fortuitous goal when a shot came in from the edge of the box. It knocked off a 2 Forest Green Rovers, but the final touch was Ryan Innes, who had the ball in the back of his own net, and it'd be a disappointing one for him. But there's not much he could really do about it, as it just found its way into the bottom corner. Not much that the goalkeeper could really do here either. In the 44th minute, Wrexham made it 4. It was all the 4s. Paul Mullen again doubled his tally for the day after a corner flicked off the head of Owen O'Connell, and it found him at the back post after a deflected volley ended up in the top right-hand corner, and Wrexham went into the break 4-0 up and cruising. All they had to do was rely on Mansfield, who we obviously know did do the job for them. In the second half, it was already job done. Forest Green Rovers had a little bit more in this half. They had 4 shots and 4 shots on target, but Wrexham were the ones that continued to power over the line as they scored 2 more in this half. Wrexham were made to wait though until 3 minutes after the hour mark when Ryan Barnett connected with a fantastic cross from James McLean, and it was an unbelievable volley, a little slicer into the top left corner, and what a way to make it 5. But they weren't done when James Marriott capped off the performance with a James McLean cross again. This time it was driven across the box, but James Marriott did not hesitate to tap it into the net from 3 yards out, and that sealed off Wrexham's return to Sky Bet League One. And what a return it was, as the scenes were unbelievable. They will probably have to settle for second place, but they won't care. Promotion is promotion. Bet they're glad that it is done. So on to the rest of the games now. Harrogate 2, Sutton 2. A tight fought game where both sides did take the lead, but both were pegged back. Despite picking up a point, Sutton found themselves dropping into the bottom 2 today for the first time in a couple of weeks. In this one, both sides had their moments and could have probably taken the lead at some point. Sutton on paper were the better side, but when they scored that late equaliser, I'm sure they'd be happy with the point. But they've got to build off this now. They've got a couple of games. They've got to pick up, I think, 4 points in order to stay in the league. Next up, it is Salford 1, Bradford 2. Bradford were the much better team in this game. Salford didn't really have much after they opened the scoring. I say it'll be a disappointing one for them to concede so late on. They conceded in the 87th minute when Bradford did get that winner, but a well-deserved win for Bradford, and a disappointing one for Salford, who need to rebuild in the summer. Next up is Gillingham 3, Barrow 0. Barrow started off the game very well, but Gillingham gradually grew into it, and they were helped out when George Ray got sent off after 22 minutes. And from there, the Gills just were relentless, picking up goal after goal after goal. They won the game 3-0. A fantastic display, and Barrow need to improve for next time around. Now it is Doncaster 4, Accrington Stanley 0. Who's going to stop this Doncaster side winning? Because I can't see anyone doing it at the minute. And if they keep up this level of form, they will find themselves in the playoffs, which they are just 1 point away from now. The Rovers came into this game, like I say, in a rich vein of form, and they continue to. After just 6 minutes, they got the opener, and they built off of this. A very impressive display from a very impressive side at the minute. And Doncaster Rovers, you've got my respect for this season. They fought very hard, and they're going to fight right till the very last game of the season. A 4-0 win is all that they deserve. Now, it is Crawley 2, Colchester 3. A massive 3 points for Colchester, as that lifts them out of the relegation zone. And for quite a while, they weren't the better side, but when it mattered, they got the goals. They went 3-1 up, and not much really Crawley could say about it. They did have their chances. They didn't take them. They got a consolation goal late on after Colchester found themselves down to 10 men. Samson Tavard will have to miss the next game, which will be the only negative that Colchester will take from this game. I think 3 more points and they are safe, and it'll be very unfortunate for Sutton, despite their recent run of form in the second half of the season, that has seen them have a fighting chance. Crewe 0, Grimsby 3. A disappointing day for Crewe, as despite being at home, they were completely outclassed by a really poor Grimsby side, and one that on paper they would have been very much a superior team on. And Grimsby, like I say, they definitely did deserve all 3 points. They were absolutely fantastic, and for me, that ensures their survival, despite it being mathematically possible for them to drop off. I can't see it. The games to points means that it can only get to level, but obviously goal difference does exist. But I think for me, they're safe now. Crewe, despite being 5th, they need to get at least another win to ensure their survival, as other teams around them, below them in the out of the playoff zones, can move to 3 points behind them if they win their games in hand. So it is a bit touch and go at the minute for Crewe Alexandra, so they need to come back. Swindon 3, Wimbledon 2 next. Swindon responded well to conceding just 2 minutes into the game, as a second half comeback saw them go 3-1 up. Wimbledon managed a consolation goal late on, but will feel like this is very much a missed chance to get themselves back involved in the playoff conversation, as many teams above them did end up dropping points. But if you don't win your match, it doesn't matter what anyone else does, and that's the message that Wimbledon will have to take from this one. Finally, Walsall 1, Notts County 3. A bit of a dead rubber game this, but the league's top goal scorer added another one to his tally after he opened the scoring just 2 minutes in. Now, Notts doubled their lead before half-time, just 28 minutes in, and went into the break deservedly winning 2-0. Now, it looked like they were getting helped out when Walsall went down to 10 men, but they found themselves back in the game after 68 minutes. However, County finished them off just 1 minute later when Sam Austin made it 3-1 and ensured all 3 points were getting to the visitors. So that just about wraps things up for this video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. Do let me know what your thoughts are on this new style of doing things, and I say I'll see you in the next one.